here live from Accra, Ghana, hence why you might hear some of the background noise in the church service that's happening on a Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. So yes, I am still in Ghana. I am here till January 6th. For those who have inquired about me selling some African print wares, I have obliged, and I have a quick sale happening at africawares.bigcartel.com. Go ahead, get you a piece. Now, I have not done a proper Smart Brown Girl video in a clean minute, and I felt like it was my duty to come back to the Smart Brown Girls and engage you guys in a very pivotal discussion that needs to happen. So this past week on my Facebook feed, there's been an article that's been circulating around with kind of mixed opinions, and very interesting discussion has been happening, and I thought this is a perfect topic to talk about with my Smart Brown Girl. So our Parasite posted an article submitted anonymously by a lady entitled "The Ugly Side of Being Attractive, Single, and Available," detailing her sexual mistreatment where she has gone into relationships and situations as a consenting and a sometimes casual sexual relationship and had her boundaries or body or just, girl, a whole lot that to me just sounded like sexual assault and then sometimes rape, but to her she just felt like were men being too aggressive and just being dicks. Let's talk about this. The ugly side of being attractive, single, and available is not rape. This is very important to address because we live in a world where Steve Harvey has built the bulk of his career and is now slinging bacon off of putting the onus of a relationship entirely onto a woman's shoulder. The bad behavior of men is acknowledged as a problem that women have to solve. And we need to firmly address what rape is. And even if you are consenting to casual sex because you're an adult who has rights to your own body and exploring being a sexual being, that you are still allowed to have boundaries. Firm boundaries that protect your body. Casual sex is not code for easy, whore, rape, or let me do what I want to do with her even when she tells me no. Rape culture is so ingrained into the patriarchy of our society that casual sex for women is often pushed into the dark and unsavory space that allows women to be victim blamed. If you have not read the article, please stop and read it here. I've linked it in the eye that should drop down right above and in the description box down below. There's a few incidents in the article that I can relate to. Like a guy refusing to put a condom on and then pushing himself inside of you. Men attempting to forcefully push your head down or just shoving their whole entire dick in your face because you're obliged to give them head. And I come from the firm school of saying no. Hell to the no. Fuck your feelings. No. And I've still been caught in the struggles of boundaries where men don't understand the word no. What was so apparent in this article is that this young lady has no boundaries to begin with, further pushing her out in the cold when a lover shows up at your door with 2 other men because you get to have 3 guys at once. You spend hours haggling with them while you say no. How many different ways? Let's be clear, this is not victim blaming, but we need to have this discussion to empower young women, older women, all women, that it's okay to have boundaries that keep you safe even when they make others uncomfortable. At no point should your obligation to keeping the peace come at the cost of violence against your own body. And we have all been there where we have been uncomfortable and said nothing because we didn't want to change the mood. We didn't want to ruin the night. We really liked this person and for some reason we thought being uncomfortable would make them keep us liking them, even though in reality, in non-likeness, when we have our common sense, we remember that if a person likes us, then they should respect us. But somehow we're in these moments where we're just willing to be disrespected in order to keep up someone else's comfort. We've done it. When it comes to sexual assault and rape, we are so trained that our first reaction is to immediately think, what did I do to get myself here? How did I cause this to happen? We immediately blame ourselves for the violence that happens to us perpetuated by others, that we do everything but set boundaries to keep from seeing it as sexual assault or rape. The author closes out with, I've been raped and there's a few nights I don't remember, but I've been coerced time and time again. Lord love, a few examples she gave actually were rape. And don't just value how hard it is to get a man off the top of you when he's inside of you, no matter how small or skinny he seems in real life. At the point where you're attempting to get him off of you and he's exerting power to remain on top and inside of you, you have crossed over to the area of assault and rape. At this point, there is no happy moment to save because my no means no. So fuck him and his feelings and be as aggressive as you need to be to get him up and off of you. But be as loud and scream and say the word rape if you need to. Whether it is casual sex, a lover, a longtime friend, a husband, or a boyfriend, you as a woman and a man are allowed to consent to sex and then stop during it. How innocently asking for a break, to pee, to get up, to take a break, to let someone know that you're in pain, you're uncomfortable, your body doesn't feel good in this moment. Just stop because it's overwhelming, it hurts. It's your damn body and you want to stop. Can so quickly turn into a moment when your body is not yours because society is teaching men that women's bodies deserve no respect. This is not about participating in casual sex because you can save yourself, be pure as white doves and white cotton bed sheets, and still find yourself in this position because you weren't taught you have full rights over your body. Define what boundaries you need, how you want your body to be approached, and always understand that when your no is not heard, you have crossed over to sexual assault and rape. Check out my book, Send It On, a collection of essays that highlight some of what I've discussed in this video. And you can also watch my video and read my blog post about the aftermath of being a victim of rape. You can click on either the eyes that drop down here, which have both links, and as always, it will be linked in the description box down below. Thanks for watching. I encourage you to join this Smart Brown Girl discussion, and I will have a blog post posted. The eye. Description box down below to keep it going and encouraging smart brown girls to own the rights to their body. Nobody can tell you what to do with your being, no matter what situation you in, how much or little clothing you have on. Someone always needs to respect your rights and your words. Deuces, smart brown girls.